Born in the bustling city of Chicago in the early 20th century, Milton Samuel J. Wright possessed a magnetic personality and an insatiable thirst for adventure. His life was an extraordinary odyssey that intertwined with some of the most consequential events of his era. He grew up in a vibrant neighborhood where he developed a keen intellect and a passion for world affairs. As he matured, he embarked on a journey of self-discovery that led him to explore distant lands and immerse himself in different cultures. Along the way, he honed his linguistic skills, becoming fluent in multiple languages. In the 1930s, a dark cloud cast its shadow over Europe. The rise of Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime threatened to engulf the world in a cataclysmic conflict. During this time, Wright found himself drawn to the epicenter of history. He had just completed 2 years of study in Germany and had been given his degree certificate when he and his German friends decided to attend a regional political rally where Hitler spoke.
So guys, let me just interject right here quickly. You notice that throughout history, from the 14th to the 19th century, all our ancestors who excel speak multiple languages, up to 10, 15 languages. So engineers, and they excel so much when they had so less to work with. Like they had to deal with racism, they had to deal with they cannot mix with other race, and then they still study and excel like this gentleman here, to the point where he's basically I would say he's a genius. But you know what? Before we go any further, let's finish the video and then discuss it. Boom.
At the rally, Wright would allegedly joke with his friends that he wouldn't mind assassinating Hitler. Hitler's guards overheard them and followed Wright as he went to a hotel with his friends to have dinner, and as fate had it, Hitler was at that same hotel. Wright, on entering the hotel, was detained by Nazi stormtroopers and taken to Hitler's room to be questioned. Like any other person at that time, Wright was scared and thought that this would be his end. Unknown to him that in a few years, one of them would end up shooting himself in the head in an underground bunker, while the other ended up a celebrated professor who positively influenced generations. But the interrogation turned into a 4-hour dinner for two, where they discussed several topics. Wright skillfully probed Hitler's mind, seeking to understand the motivations and ideology that had led to such immense human suffering. He listened intently as Hitler passionately expounded upon his warped vision of the world.
Don't you think your people are destined perpetually to be slaves of one kind or another? Your people are a hopeless lot. I don't hate them, I pity the poor devils.
Meticulously examining the darkest recesses of the dictator's psyche, Wright, fluent in German, would later give an account of his encounter with Hitler.
When I would attempt to correct some of his versions of life in America, he would almost invariably break in with another question or comment. With that exception, he was most courteous to me. He spoke loudly, long, and with an air of authority.
Rather than engaging in a heated debate or becoming overwhelmed by anger, Wright approached the encounter with a remarkable poise. His intention was not to change Hitler's mind, but rather to grasp the depths of the human condition that could give rise to such malevolence. In doing so, Wright sought to unearth the seeds of compassion and understanding buried within even the most despicable souls.
So, here we see that this gentleman here, he met Hitler and lived to tell the tale, which he wasn't murdered or he wasn't tortured or anything. They had a civil conversation. And why do you think this happened? Because he was an intellectual. He did not yell, he did not scream, he did not use his emotions. He speak to him man to man on an intellectual level. And as you said earlier, he speaks multiple languages. He speaks German fluently, better than most Germans and better than most whites or any other race, according to the accounts of what take place during this 4-hour long meeting with Mr. Wright, right? So I started to say this: why is it now, modern day, where we have the internet, we have access to all the colleges and universities on the planet. We have access to all information. No information is no longer hidden. So why is it we're not excelling like how our ancestors did? Why? I think our generation has become more soft and more reliant, and is quick to use racism or the white man as the reason for not excelling. And we have seen throughout history our ancestors excel tremendously without less than half, not even 10% of what we have now. Our ancestors had to work with, yet they still excel and become great men throughout history. Did great things, invented great inventions out of this world. Even though some of the invention was taken from us, and say it wasn't us, but even in building the pyramids and these major historical sites that's built by men with no machine. So I'm saying that to say we have to step up our game as black people and start blaming the system all the time for not excelling. That's just my view on this. So anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section of Mr. Wright meeting Hitler. Have a conversation with him. He lived to tell the tales and he tried to understand his mind at the same time. Let me know what you think about this, because I don't know if, because by me saying Hitler name, if this video will get flagged or something. But if it's not flagged and you guys get to see it, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Boom.